Hey YouTube, how's it going? This is Roblox ESPN here, back with another video. Before we continue this video, make sure to like and subscribe. More content will be coming out soon. So, welcome to the first post-summary game of the Vikings Saints game. Full video will be uploaded soon. I'm not sure if it'll be uploaded before or after, but this is going to be a summary for the Vikings and the Saints. Great game, by the way. Great effort. I'll talk more about this in a bit here. So the Vikings lose heartfelt defeat 20-49. So I just want to cover some things. Overall, I did like how both teams played. Mostly there's some things that weren't good. So I'll just start off with the Vikings here. The Vikings had a phenomenal first half game. I think they played really well. They played defensively very well. They played good overall. Their defense was stepping up. Their offense was doing just enough to get by. Glacier's is the rushing leader. He almost had like a 200 rushing game. I believe he ran around 170. He played well. So yeah. And speaking of Glacier's though he was heavily pressured, so many bad like route runnings, he played pretty well. He was the best quarterback of the game, and I didn't think he had a bad performance despite what he's given with. He had, I think he had one backup or practice squad player, so and one offensive lineman who could not catch, leaving only Slimby as like the active catcher. So I think he did pretty well. Now that's the green sections. Green sections can be everything positive. Orange is kind of like a meh, whatever. Like whatever, some concerns, but they can be improved. And then red is just like things that I did not like that definitely needs to be improved. So let's go down to the oranges here. So play calling, I say this to both teams. I'll just cover both teams. Both the play callings were very questionable. Both were throwing interceptions left and right. This was really common. There's so many interceptions in this game, both in the Saints and the Vikings. But the Vikings, I understand. The Saints, I don't know, bro. This is the Saints, so I don't know how to feel about this. They had 64, but they somehow still kept throwing interceptions. Now, this got cleared in the second half. I'll talk about that later. But play calling on both sides was not good. Slimby, I put him in orange. He didn't have a bad game at all. He was the second overall pick of the draft. He didn't have a bad game at all. But there's some critique I need to give it to him. He played a good game overall. He was their leading wide receiver. So that's one good thing. But there's a lot of passes that were thrown to Slimby, but they were just completely miss, meh. They just weren't caught. He either he jumped over the ball, or he didn't jump. Let there so many interceptions. But he did redeem himself in some ways. He didn't have a bad game. Maybe just because he was outmanned 2-1 usually, so it was kind of like Devontae Adams a little bit, but he didn't play that bad. Moving on, let's go into the Reds here. Second half game for the Vikings, atrocious. They just couldn't get anything going. Interception after interceptions. Glacier's tried his best running, passing. His run was limited due to the strong blitz that the Saints sent him. It was a two-man blitz, and he had one offensive lineman, so there's some lane he could get, but there wasn't much. He just got a couple of yards there compared to first half, where he was getting multiple first downs and like 2 downs maybe, but he's using 3. The second half, passing game also just kind of like collapsed in the second half. Wasn't good at all. So that's that for the Vikings. And activity too, it wasn't good. They only brought in 4 people, and there's a lot of complications, but I just put that in red. Maybe they can improve next week, but that's for the Vikings. Let's move to the Saints. So I'm going to talk about MVP B-Man. He didn't have a bad game, but he got passes and all, but it was all in like no pressure usually. It was only like a couple throws, I believe, that I saw that was like con pressure and everything and that. But B-Man overall, he got MVP. We could make an argument for Glacier's other people, but B-Man, he did get MVP of that game, so well deserved by the game algorithm. Saints fourth quarter, they popped off. I think they're like 20-20. They're tied, maybe 20-27, but they popped off after that. They got multiple touchdown runs, several dimes, all of that. They did good overall. Their pass rush completely elite. They had two-man blitz, which was able to pressure him very well. Not every time they got the pressure, but they did make him screw up a couple times. So that's something I liked. Their pass rush could be deadly, coming into week 2 possibly. I already went through play calling. It was very questionable on the Saints, just when they're 6'4", multiple interceptions. You know. Now this is something I just want to talk about. This is something I did not like from the Saints, and this is their pass and run defense. So you can just say overall defense. They could not stop Glaciers from converting downs, bro. Like that's a big problem. If you're dealing with mobile quarterbacks and stuff, that's gonna be a problem with you. You want to try and stop Glaciers, but the two-man blitz, it sometimes works, but Glaciers was able to find lanes, which you can see when the game's uploaded. You can see that he has multiple lanes to work with in a center, left, right. So blitz needs to be a little more consistent, but it's not bad. I like it. But the pass defense, man, they were selling a lot. They were giving the Vikings so many opportunities. They came clutch when they needed to, but they let up a ton of yards. And that'll kind of get me into next year. The botched plays, they were not playing good, okay, for most of the game. Even though the score shows it, they were not playing well. Very questionable wide receivers, questionable playing. Didn't like what I saw from the Saints, but they're facing a lot of internal issues, like their franchise owner, Seal, he's grounded, not suspended. It's kind of funny, but yeah, on the botched plays, they're just not there, man. So Saints got to improve on the defensive part. I think offense can be better, but they seem okay. They beat a very undermanned Vikings. So take it as you will. That's the Vikings-Saints game. So thank you for listening to the post-game summary. Remember to like and subscribe. More content will come out soon. So really hope you enjoy this in-depth analysis here. We'll see you next time.